Yes, welcome back to Tipster, and the Autumn Carnival has well and truly arrived, and I'm joined by none other than Brodie Nickson from Sky Racing. How are you, Brodie?
Good, Ganno. Good to be back. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, another edition of Tipster. You were here with Damo last time, and it rated off the charts, so we thought, well, we'll see if it's you or if it's me or if it's Damo, and we'll see which show rates better, and no doubt you'll be a more permanent fixture moving forward and one of us can sit out. So good to have you aboard. Look, it's all happening this weekend. CF Stakes, the Tasmanian Derby, the Inglis Millenium, of course, at Randwick, and the barrier draw was conducted for that race on Tuesday. Have you had a look at that field yet? And anything to take your interest? One, I think, fully lit drew barrier 17. Anything you like in that race at the moment?
Yeah, it's an interesting race and a monster field, fully lit. Could the wide draw almost help her, being able to ease across at her own pace?
I think so. It's going to be an advantage because the track's currently a soft 7. I think it might be a soft 5, bit of rain on the way. That rail may not be the ideal place to go. So we'll see how that race plays out. There's a very, very intriguing race, and race shape and track bias will play a big part in that. If you want to get the latest mail on how we think Saturday is going to play out, myself, Lewis Willoughby and Dean Watling, we did a show called All In. I'm sure you know the show. Make sure you are subscribing to that. That is on YouTube, thegreattipoff.com's YouTube page there. And you'll be able to get our insight into probably 4 or 5 races we covered, including the Inglis Millenium, and insight to the 2-year-olds as well, and our top 5 seeds for the 2-year-old season. Did you have a top seed for the 2-year-old season as we sit, Brodie?
I think Storm Boy is the clear and obvious. Yep. Shangri-La up there as well. But I think we're going to find a couple of good ones in the next few weeks. I think those two, but just go Woodhouse, Adrian Bott.
Dominating.
They have a monopoly of the races, don't they?
They certainly do, and it is interesting, Brodie, that Chris Waller last year, I think he trained the Triple Crown. This year, we're not too sure. Switzerland, maybe. What else has he got coming out of left field? Well, we'll find out soon. Hey, speaking about, people on the rise, undercover, out wide, Mitch Freedman, no relation to the Freedman brothers, won the Group 3 on the weekend with Vagrant. Very impressive win, and he went right off. He was pretty emotional, and it was good to see. So he deserves that victory. He's doing his best work there, but he's a trainer sort of out wide, so to speak, an underrated trainer, a trainer that is on the rise. And do you have a trainer on the rise, the punters to follow, someone that's maybe underrated, keep an eye out for in the autumn?
Mitchell's unreal, isn't he? He's had some phenomenal, really good horses. Attrition, yep. Skybird is starting to come through. He's got some outstanding stock. So whoever's doing the buying for him or the bloodstock side of things doing great work. I think Michael Freedman's slightly underrated, but he's got some great stock, Moravia and co. But he's starting to become very popular in regards to the media and name getting out there. But Nathan Doyle always gets skipped over. I think he's a gun. Yep,
he's doing very well, Nathan, building a big stable, and he's been doing plenty of purchasing as well. So, check out what Nathan's doing out there. An underrated jockey. Is there a jockey that's sort of coming through the ranks that you think, you're doing well? Celine's Gaudre is doing very well down there in Victoria. Is any jockey in New South Wales coming through the ranks?
I think Benjamin Osmond. In regards to the provincials at country, very good on horses on speed, but one young kid, Zach Waddick, I found in the country and provincials, rides a lot for Brad Whittip. He's going extremely well.
Love that. Anna Roper's one for mine. I think she's the star. She's flying. She gets the best out of horses, and not just an apprentice that can win on speed horses. She can come from behind and make up ground on them, which is a really good sign. And Braith Knock. He's doing well. Anywhere Braith goes, I want to be on. He's only got 1.5 kilos now, which is disappointing, but he's a jockey you want to follow into the future, and I think he is very much underrated. Let us know who your underrated jockey and trainer is, and in the comments below, and really keen to see maybe we can follow it and cheer him home. Now, coming up, Tipster of the Month for January, we're going to have a look at the tipsters on thegreattipoff.com, who perform the best. We're going to look at the media stars. Maybe you and I may have snuck in there somewhere. Who knows? And then we'll get some free tips from a couple of high-profile tipsters, so be keen to see. We might even get a best bet for you over the weekend as well. All that coming up right after this. Here we are, Brodie. Tipster of the Month overall. This is media, pros, punters, everyone across thegreattipoff.com who have entered their tips. And on top, number 1 for January to kick off the season, Shadowfax, with an enormous profit on turnover of 233% with an average price of $21.14. I don't think I've found a $20 winner for about 6 months, Brodie. How about you?
Let alone a $239 one. That's ridiculous.
Your
tips in for second. Percentage of turnover, 215%, 48 tips, 13% strike rate. and $25 the average tip. There's some big numbers here, aren't there?
Big numbers, and keeping the theme of big numbers, Danzak there in third, pro symbol, so it shows it's absolutely no fluke, as well as along with Aya tips and 114% profit on turnover. Only the 43 tips are very selective in their work, but average price of $15.33 if you don't mind.
And Rain. That one again, Rain. 3 winning weeks in a row, so he's going very well. Percentage of turnover 100%, great numbers, and $13.60 the average price. Incredible stuff.
And in fifth, they're rounding out the top 5. Baz 122 with a 79% profit on turnover from Papua New Guinea. So there you go. Made tips of the month many a time. Low flying, and I think if you were going to follow one on a consistency basis, I think Baz 122 is someone that is there on a regular basis, and you could definitely follow any of these tipsters with confidence. Here we are with tipster of the month for the media, and I tell you what, another big performance from Nadia Horn on top from RSN. She's low flying, Nadia, absolute gun. And look, what can I say, Brodie? She follows me on Twitter. I follow her on Twitter. I feel like privileged to get that follow. We talked about it a couple of years ago when Nadia was there, and she's a jet. Like the sound of racing down there, and I think she's phenomenal. 69% profit on turnover, 41 tips, an average price of $4. So full credit to you, Nadia. Low flying, keep up the good work.
And Richard Robinson in second, percentage of turnover 50%. That's very tough to do on a consistent basis, and $4.86 the average price, and striking about 1 in every 3 tips.
Pretty impressive stuff. Bear Robinson down there, and you'd be happy to get a little win over his man there, Reid. Snapper Reid getting the job done. Unfortunately, Snapper's finished 4th, but Bear's clearly on top there on 2nd. So cop that, Matty. In 3rd, Rick McIntosh. 46% profit on turnover. Full credit, Rick. You've done very well there from Sky. And in 4th,
Brad Gray. Apologies. 4th, Matt Reid.
Don't
and
forget
Brad
Matty.
Gray 5th. No, you can't touch on Matty. 31% profit on turnover. And then Brad Gray to close off. 30%. He hasn't had many tips, Brad, but they're winning.
Yeah. Colleague of yours might have a bit of time off, Brad, just doing his best work out wide on the golf course over the Christmas period. But well done to the top 5 media tipsters of the month. No doubt Brodie Nickson, he'll be in there for the month of February. He is low flying, of course. It's that time of the show, Brodie, where we get free tips from all the punters that are absolutely low flying. And we're going to kick off here with a tipster that is airborne. Up next, you hear him on the radio daily, Dave Stanley from Sky Sports Radio. He's an absolute jet. He gets the inside mail. He's doing all the interviews. Let's see what he's got for this Saturday.
How you going, guys? Thanks for the shout out on the great tip-off. Love doing the form every week and love trying to find a winner. For those that are interested, you can catch me on Sky Sports Radio throughout the week, doing lots of interviews and chats about the races all in and around New South Wales, and also what else is happening around the country. You can also catch my tips every Saturday in the Sydney Morning Herald. So if you want to, in fact, Friday and Saturday. So if you want to jump on and have a look at the tips, see how good or bad I'm going. We've been going all right, so it's been pretty good. Speaking of tips for this weekend, I like a horse called Super Chilled. It's in race number 3. Tommy Berry rides. Chris Waller, second up. I think it'll get the chocolates. It's way over the odds if you ask me. So, as I said, boys, love the great tip-off. Love what you boys do. And bring it on. Got to try and back some winners this autumn. Hopefully I can keep the roll going. Thanks very much.
Well, the Tasmanian Derby is on. Tasmanian racing is heating up. And, well, where else would you go? Bear, too busy. Snapper Reid. Matty Reid, here we go. Best bet for the weekend.
G'day guys, Matt Reid from Tas Racing here. I'm the media and wagering manager. I've been doing Tassie form reasonably seriously in public formats for about 6 years now. You can get my stuff these days through SEN and racing.com through the Tassie Summer Racing Festival. Pretty old school approach to doing the form for me. There's nothing too out of the box, a lot of replays, do my own maps, do my own prices, focus a lot on the setups of horses, jockey bookings, those kind of things, and I think when focusing on Tassie, that gives me a real edge. Massive weekend coming up. We've got the Derby on Friday and the Cup on Sunday. At the time of recording, I've done Friday. Still got a bit of work to do on Sunday, so I'll focus on Friday's program. Got 3 bets for you here. 2 probably going to be at the pointy end of the market. Start with race 3, number 1, Dante's. Looks ideally suited up to a mile. Useful claim for Chelsea Baker. I think in a race lacking speed, it rolls forward and be too good. A Bold Soul looks a good thing in the Derby, race 5, number 1. No spoil in the price of $1.60, but I've marked him shorter, and I think he will probably start $1.30, $1.40. One at a bit more value, race 6, number 9, Parola. A lot of these horses come out of the Black Flash last start. Bunch finish, not convinced that is absolutely the right form. Parola gets in with no weight, might be charging home late. So they're my 3, race 3, number 1, race 5, number 1, race 6, number 9 in Hobart on Friday. Keep an eye out for my set in Hobart on Sunday. Great weekend coming up. Good luck to all of those that are playing.
You wouldn't believe it. Bear Robinson's called and he says there's absolutely no way Snapper is going to come over the top of me. Here's Bear Robinson's best bet for Saturday.
Hey guys, for the great tip-off, thanks for letting me introduce myself. My name is Richard Robinson. A few may have heard of me on do a bit of tipping on Gareth Show, on Giddy Up, on the Bag of Tips. Bear Robinson. My main focus is on Tasmanian racing. I've got a passion for Tasmanian gallops. I put my tips up at all Tasmanian gallop meets. I've been lucky enough to be involved in the industry as a part owner. I've had a couple of nice horses, with the Inevitable being my standout. So he's given us lots of fun and joy over the years with a big bunch of owners. So it's been very exciting. In terms of my tipping, you can probably find them on the Great Tip-Off. I'll give a brief description of my tips each week. When I'm doing my form, I really focus on speed maps. I think it's really important, really imperative really. If you get your speed maps right, you can generally get a result. There's a guy I speak to within Tas Racing called Matt Reid, who does a lot for Tas Racing. I really respect his judgment, and I really lean on him for the speed maps as well, and I really respect his judgment. In terms of backing winners as well, also really like to focus on stables that are in form and jockeys that are in form. I'm a real stat man, so like at the moment, Glenn Stevenson and Cody Jordan are on a heater, and they're horses and trainers and jockeys that I follow there, as is the Key stable with David Perez. So in terms of this weekend's punting, there's no odds out for a lot of the races on Friday, which is Derby night at Hobart, which is a cracking meeting. Race 6, number 8, anyways, Roxy, I think was really unlucky last start, and I think from the barrier 1, I reckon it might be behind the leader or 3 back the fence. I reckon they'll go pretty hard, and hopefully you can get over the top. Later in the night, the Mystic Journey Stakes, race 7, number 1, Mega Mare, I think is really good value at about $11 each way. And also there's a horse called Jar Jar Boogie that's it's over 20 to 1 in most outlets, and I think it's ridiculous odds. So hopefully we can land a winner there. Remember, gamble responsibly, and everyone have a great weekend. Cheers.
Well, that brings to end what's been a real fun show, Brodie. So really appreciate your company. It's been good stuff. But we need to get a winner from you from Saturday before we finish. And before we do finish up, just a reminder, thegreattipoff.com has a YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that, so whenever this show drops, or whenever the All In show drops, you'll be the first to know about it, because you do not want to miss those early prices. They've been knocked off. Hey, Brodie knows how to knock off a price, that's for sure. One of the great snipers of all time. Now, talk to me. What's your best bet for Saturday?
First of all, Friday, Basima's going to be hard to beat, but I think they're going to up short for Kieran Maher. But Saturday, I know you've been pushing on about Fully Lit for a long time.
Yes.
I think it's a great 2-bet play with Rag Queen
right.
for David Payne. That horse is huge, winning on debut, and I think they're going to be 1 in front, 1 at the back, and hopefully one of the 2 gets the chocolates.
Good stuff. Well, hopefully it is Fully Lit, but if it's not, you've got a saver there, or a horse to a Tommy 2 play for you. I think Olympic Theatre in the midway will be very, very hard to beat. I think it's ready to go here, and I think it will absolutely destroy this lot. No idea what the price is. It could open $2. I think probably around $3, $4 would be a really, really good price if you can take that. Righto, it's been an absolute pleasure. Make sure you are subscribing. Leave a comment below. Let us know who your trainer or jockey is to follow. Until then, that's all we've got.
Perfect. Thanks for having me, Gannon.
Pleasure. Bye for now.